Hey guys, do you love squatting as much as me? Well, if you don't, this might be a solution for you. Stay tuned and we're going to check it out.
Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Mike, what day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
Leg day.
Woo-hoo! Hey guys, welcome back to the home gym today. Coach Carp with Carp's Gym. We're back in the garage to take a look at this new release from Fringe Sport. This is the American Longhorn bar made in the USA with American steel. This is a Buffalo style bar, and here's how it arrived. It came in a box. The box was very well taped up and concealed. It even had cardboard tubing over the sleeves and in the middle of the bar so it doesn't bounce around in the box. I was really impressed with the shipping. Fringe Sport has got some new leadership recently, and they are looking at updating their packaging and shipping materials, as well as releasing some new bars made in the USA and updating some of their previous or existing versions. The bar showed up in pristine condition. Now let's dive right into the specs of this bar. What is different about this bar versus various other Buffalo bars or Duffalo or bow style bars that are on the market? Well, this one has a similar camber to the Kabuki bar. I'll show you some B-roll and clips of that. It's almost the exact camber, if not the same. But what makes this one a little bit different is this American Longhorn bar from Fringe Sport. It's about 8 to 10 inches shorter. So that's mainly due to the shorter sleeves. It has a similar bow or curved angle as the Kabuki bar. The sleeves are just a little bit shorter. Now it has the two standard powerlifting ring marks that you can use to place your hands, and then a center ring mark to help you keep the bar centered on your back. I've always noticed in my videos and clips, I record all my videos, so I've noticed I have a tendency to get the bar off center, where with this one, when I'm videoing my sets, I can make sure I got it right in the middle of my back and I'm set up ready to go. It has a medium to aggressive knurling. This knurling, I would say, is a little bit more aggressive than an Ohio bar, right at or a little bit under the aggressiveness of an Ohio power bar. But this is going to be a much more packed in, tighter knurling, where that Ohio power bar is more like a 17, 18 TPI. This is more like a Kabuki 25, 22, somewhere in there. They're really packed tight knurling, very grippy without being super aggressive. Now this bar was sent to me from Fringe Sport for an honest review. Normally when I bring in a bar for review, what I try to do is just incorporate it into my normal training. As you may know, for the past couple of years, I've been doing Juggernaut AI, online training program that helps with your training. On there, I'm currently in a hypertrophy block. So all I did was sub this bar in for my current training. I was already doing camber bar bench with a Cadillac style bar or a bezel steel arch nemesis bar. All I did was swap those for that camber for this camber and used it for the last 2 to 3 weeks in the training cycle. And then also my comp squat, I just switched it over to Duffalo and stuck with the same weights and used that there. So why would you want a bar like this? Well, if you're #masters like me, this bar is a great shoulder, elbow, and wrist saver. And then for bench press, it also helps get a larger range of motion because it's like 2 to 3 more inches on your bench press. Theoretically, that would make your bench press easier when you go back to a straight bar. So you get more range of motion. You're getting more range of motion. And then I noticed afterwards, going into the next day, I had a ridiculous chest pump just from hitting that additional range of motion. You can definitely feel it if you hadn't been hitting that. The next couple of days after it and you're following bench sessions, you really see some increase in your chest. In addition to the bench press and squat workouts that I was already doing, I did try it for a couple other movements. Some of them were questions I received. Other ones were just exercises I wanted to try to see if the bar helped and gave you better range of motion on some of these. And for overhead press, it definitely did. I'm 6'2" and I have a 90-inch rack, so normally I'm not able to press inside of a 90-inch rack with a standard straight bar. But with this one, I was able to use it to overhead press. I'll show you some clips and things of that. If you have a short ceiling, another hack for that too is also just use smaller plates, 25s and 10s. You can just stack them out to the side. But with this one, I was able to do all that and get the full range of motion inside of the rack. So if you have short ceilings, you should be able to do that as well. And I did things like chest supported rows or seal rows. You just turn the bar upside down and use the camber to your advantage to get a longer range of pull. And it worked good and felt well it looked good and felt well there. Also, just liked it for pressing. The 32-inch diameter feels a lot better on your back. It gives me a better grip, and I feel more locked in. But it also felt really good pressing. That wider diameter on overhead press and on bench press, as well as the additional range of motion. Now, there's some other bars on the market that you may have heard of, such as the Duffalo Bar, the CB4, the Yukon Bar from Titan, the Bison Bar, Strong Arm Sports. Why would I recommend this one over those? Well, first of all, this one is made in the USA. Some of those are and some of those aren't. Now, the Duffalo Bar is made in the USA, but you're looking at about $750 shipped for a regular bar. And then if you go the blemish route, I think they have black oxide or bright zinc. You're still looking at around $600 shipped for a blemish version. The one I own was the bright zinc version, and the coating on that just wasn't very good either. So I would rather just have a brand new style bar. So this bar is going to be cheaper than that one and still made in the USA. The CB4, it's kind of an anomaly because it's around that $500 price range, but I've also seen the coating is not very done very well, and it's a 38 millimeter bar, which I think you really want to be around this 32 millimeter. That 38 is kind of an anomaly. It's just it's kind of too big in my opinion. But you know, there's people that like it too. I just don't like that black coating personally. And then something like the Titan Yukon Bar or Bison Bar, I think the Bison Bar has been discontinued for good reason, because I think that thing was just a sheer death trap. I've seen so many times where it flipped or fell off the rack. The Titan Yukon Bar is around that $300 price point. It's a full-size bar, but even in their marketing photos, you'll see that the bar leans to one side. They're not able to even get that bar on the rack without it leaning sideways. So that's going to be a nightmare with loading plates off the bar, and I've seen it flip off the bar even with one plate on it. So you definitely don't want to do that. This bar doesn't have any of those problems. Like, it is a little bit shorter bar. It sits in normal J cups, which I really like. So you don't need any kind of specialty J cups. There is that J cup hack where you can turn your J cups in and get that slant to it, so it'll stay in there, similar to a Duffalo or Buffalo J cup. But with this bar, it's awesome because you don't need that. It's rackable in pretty much any standard rack. Mine is a Rogue rack, 49 inches. If you have a 2x3 or 47-inch rack, there may be some play with that. You may want to look into that, but I don't have those type of racks to test. But in a standard 3x3, 49-inch Rogue rack, or some of these other brands out there, it racks just like this. No hands on it. 95% of the time, it stays upright. When you're loading the plates, it's not off to one side or on center. So I'd highly recommend this at this price point. Right now, currently, Fringe Sport is offering, they're running a Labor Day sale where they have 10% off site-wide. So if you get this before September 5th, you have a chance to get this bar or any of their bars 10% off. And there are some other codes out there for 5 and 10% off. So you could get this bar, I think I've seen all the way down to $530. That's shipped to you, free shipping. They also have their imported Longhorn bar that's on sale, which is the full-size bar. That's the same specs as the Kabuki bar. It's the 55-pound longer bar with the 1,500 weight capacity. And it's sub $300 right now with the discount, with the holiday discount they're running. And then if you had an additional code on top of that, I think I've seen it as low as $260 to $289 if you have those codes. So that's definitely something to look at if you want a budget version. This is going to be your more premium made in America version, but that import bar is also really good. The knurling has been done on it. It's not ones from the past. They have done a lot of upgrades. It looks better. One thing I don't like about this American Longhorn bar, there's a little bit of slop in the sleeves. You can hear that. And there's no bronze or brass self-lubricating bushing there. It's just metal on metal right there on the inside. I believe there's a bushing inside on the other side, but not on the inner side. So it spins okay. It doesn't spin great, but there is spin there. And it spins a lot better if you just use a little 3-in-1 oil, which I've done. So you can put that in there. It has a lot better spin. That's without a plate on it. It spins even better with a plate on it. But that's just something to be aware of. where the imported one that I said was around $300 does not have any slop at all. So that's, even though it's imported, it looks like another high quality bar. So if American made is important to you, this is a great option. I actually like it because the shorter sleeves, it's easier to get in and out of the rack. I would highly recommend it, or you can go the budget route. Now, some of the questions, I think I've answered most of the questions I've got about how it fits in the rack, how it feels. But one of the questions I got is, I've seen this bar or similar bars out there. How does it compare to those? And the one that keep coming up over and over was the original Longhorn bar. And I've even had some of my buddies send me pictures of the ones they used to own 3 or 4 years ago that Fringe Sport quit making. I believe they're making it again, or made some updates, because this knurling may be a little better than the previous version. It's more of a tight Kabuki style knurl, and the coating looks pretty good. What kept popping up was the Primal Armor bar, and at the time when I received this in, I had no idea, but I actually own both of those bars. I'll show you those here. From what I can tell and the research I've done, I don't know any of this officially, but what I can tell is they are pretty much the same bar. They're both heavy metal steel bars. So it comes down to which one do you want to support. You may be able to find this bar from different manufacturers. That's up to you who you choose to support. If you want to support me and Fringe, then buy this American Longhorn bar. Support one of the other companies and you like what they're doing, then go buy that bar. But as far as what I can tell, they are the same bar. I believe Fringe was already making this bar. The original manufacturer may have sold this bar to other companies without them knowing. So I don't know any of that directly. That's just my thoughts and my opinion on it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please comment, like, and subscribe to the video. Get down in the description. I'll put all the affiliate links for this bar and even the budget Longhorn bar. If you guys want any one of those, please use my affiliate link to buy this bar with Carp's Gym. Thanks for watching, and please go lift barbells.